Click the bell, turn on all notifications, and subscribe for around-the-clock WWE news in real time. The home of the most consistent and dedicated breaking news in WWE, SeanzViewEnt, is here for you. Like, comment, and share today.
The WWE has made the call. The WWE has made the right call. A call that will be absolutely not detrimental to WrestleMania 42, as a huge name has been announced, a massive return announced for WrestleMania 42. Ladies and gentlemen, according to those that know, according to the man himself, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, John Cena, will undoubtedly host WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. John Cena made the announcement. It's not just the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters. No. You see, it's also John Cena that will be there. You got to wonder, what is John Cena going to do? What is he going to say? What is on his mind? What is John Cena going to be doing as the host of WrestleMania? Will it be memorable? Will it be unforgettable? Will it be undeniable? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a major announcement, cataclysmic announcement. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. And remember, guys, it's very important to go follow me over on X. Very important. I want everyone right now to go follow me over on X, guys. Here it is. The Brash and the Brazen. I will never be mistaken or overtaken. Go check out my YouTube channel. Go check out my Twitter. My X is right here. Go, guys, go follow me right now. SeanzViewEnt Entertainment on YouTube, your ultimate WWE insider for all your needs in WWE. This is what it's all about. This is what I bring to the table. Go follow me on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, right here and right now, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. But ladies and gentlemen, we got some breaking news. Apart from John Cena hosting WrestleMania, which is going to be huge, which is going to be monumental, that is about as blockbuster as you are going to get. The greatest of all time returning to WWE for the first time in a long time. But ladies and gentlemen, some breaking news coming out of Madison Square Garden, Monday Night Raw tonight. Let's not waste any more of your valuable time because we have a lot to get into. And quite frankly, we have a lot of videos to produce today. Remember to check my videos around the clock. We upload multiple videos a day. Remember to set a reminder, set a timer on your cell phone, your watch, your PC, your TV, whatever it may be. Set a reminder to watch SeanzViewEnt TV because this is your ultimate place to be. Now, we're going to dive right into this, viewers. We're diving into this head first. Head first. It doesn't get, as they say, WrestleMania, it doesn't get much bigger than this. Well, and I'm just trying to confirm a few things because there is a lot of escalation going on right now. Hold on, viewers. Just give me 1 minute. All right, guys, we're pulling it up again. More news and rumors, guys. Again, this is why we do multiple videos a day, multiple updates. Just stay with me. Hang on with me for just one moment because we have a lot of details. We have a lot to expose. We have a lot to leak in the WWE, especially hours before Monday Night Raw, Madison Square Garden. Now, this video, as we all know, covers WWE news, wrestling news, WWE rumors, and backstage gossip. All reports and rumors are source-based. WWE plans can change at any time, and SeanzViewEnt TV covers the stories that other channels, quite frankly, will not touch. And if they do touch it, they don't touch it the way that the SeanzViewEnt TV revolution touches it. We are interrupting your regularly scheduled programming because what is happening inside and outside of Madison Square Garden this morning going into tonight is so significant, so unexpected, and so potentially devastating for the future of professional wrestling that it cannot wait. CM Punk's WWE World Heavyweight Championship is missing from MSG tonight. Roman Reigns refusing to appear on camera. Brock Lesnar has delivered the most nuclear ultimatum of his career to Triple H. John Cena has confirmed a shocking return to WWE for WrestleMania. And Vince Russo has just publicly told AEW's Tony Khan that together, they can blow WWE into oblivion. 5 bombshells, one night, one massive video. WrestleMania 42 is under 3 weeks away, and the clock is ticking. So we begin this show, we begin this video right here and right now to satisfy your taste buds as it concerns all things professional wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, right at the top of the video again, our first urgent report. involves the disappearance of CM Punk's World Heavyweight Championship from inside Madison Square Garden. Sources say the championship was confirmed in CM Punk's possession when he arrived at MSG earlier this morning. It is now gone. This is where the emergency begins and everything else follows from it. We begin this morning with a situation that sources inside Madison Square Garden are describing as unprecedented in the modern era of professional wrestling. The WWE World Heavyweight Champion is missing. Again, not CM Punk himself is missing. The CM Punk Championship, the World Championship, is missing inside Madison Square Garden tonight, according to multiple sources with direct knowledge of the situation. The title was confirmed to be in CM Punk's possession when he arrived earlier this evening. It was seen by multiple members of the production team, multiple members of the locker room, and multiple WWE officials who were present at the time of CM Punk's arrival. At some point between CM Punk's arrival at MSG and the beginning of what will be the beginning of tonight's broadcast, that championship has disappeared. Sources say WWE officials discovered the title was missing approximately 90 minutes before Raw was scheduled to go live on Netflix. Now, again, it could be that because obviously we got a while to go for Raw here, but sources say the reaction inside the building was when they made the discovery was immediate, and it was complete chaos concerning the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, here is what makes this story so significant and so explosive. Just 3 weeks before WrestleMania 42, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is not a prop. It is not just a piece of leather material. It is the physical representation of CM Punk's reign as the champion. It is a centerpiece of the most anticipated match at WrestleMania 42, and tonight it is nowhere to be found in Madison Square Garden. Sources say WWE immediately launched an internal investigation the moment the championship's disappearance was confirmed. Security footage is being reviewed. Personnel are being questioned. Every corridor, every dressing room, and every production area inside MSG is being searched right now as the broadcast is going to go live. But here is the story, guys. Here is where the story is most explosive in its turn. Sources say there is already a list of superstars being discussed internally at WWE tonight that could have stolen the World Heavyweight Championship now that it is vanished. And the names on that list are going to make every wrestling fan watching this broadcast sit up completely straight. The first name being discussed internally is obviously the challenger to CM Punk's world title at WrestleMania 42, Roman Reigns. Again, the first name being discussed internally is the tribal chief, the OTC himself. Sources say Roman Reigns had access to the area where Punk's belongings were earlier in the evening. Roman arrived at MSG before Punk. His people were in those corridors. And sources say the nature of Roman's demands tonight, which we will detail fully in our next report, have led officials to directly question whether the disappearance of CM Punk's championship and Roman's refusal to perform are connected in coordinated events. Now, again, guys, you're not going to get no AIs. You're not going to get no edits. You're not going to get no fake. You're going to get the botches, the bloopers, the enthusiasm, the real, the emotion, the heart, the passion, the integrity. You're going to get it all here on SeanzViewEnt because I am not afraid. I am not afraid. The second name being discussed internally that could have stolen the World Championship are the Usos, the current reigning defending tag team champions. Jimmy and Jey Uso are inside MSG tonight for the street fight for the World Tag Team titles. They have been aligned with Roman Reigns throughout this rivalry, and sources say their movement inside the building tonight are being examined very carefully by WWE officials right now. The third possibility being discussed is perhaps the most intriguing and the most chilling of all. Sources say that there is a growing belief among some officials inside MSG tonight that the person who took CM Punk's championship may not be someone whose name has been mentioned yet. That the theft of this title is the operating and the opening move of something much larger. A statement from someone who has been watching the entire WrestleMania 42 situation unfold from the outside, from afar, calculating, waiting, and choosing tonight of all nights to make their presence felt in the most dramatic and most undeniable way possible. As of this broadcast, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship has not been located, viewers, okay? The investigation is ongoing, and CM Punk is in a state that sources describe as beyond furious, which brings us directly to our second part and report of this morning going into the afternoon hour. Stay with us because what CM Punk did when he simultaneously discovered his championship was missing and learned of Roman Reigns' demands tonight at MSG is being described by witnesses inside the building as the most intense and most volatile reaction they have seen from any performer in the history of that arena. Now, our reports involve CM Punk. Our second report, among many. There's going to be multiple layers and multiple reports right here in this very video on the Brash and the Brazen. Our second report involves CM Punk, and sources say the combination of a missing championship and Roman Reigns' demands arriving simultaneously triggered something inside CM Punk tonight at MSG that witnesses describe as unlike anything they have ever seen before. We now turn our second developing story from Madison Square Garden tonight. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship is missing, and CM Punk just found out simultaneously that his title is gone and that Roman Reigns is in a closed-door meeting making demands about WrestleMania 42. We go to that report right here and right now. CM Punk arrived at Madison Square Garden tonight as the reigning WWE World Heavyweight Champion. The man who has been the heartbeat of Monday Night Raw every single week on Netflix, the Red Brand. The man who has built the most compelling championship rivalry heading into WrestleMania 42 through sheer force of will and commitment to the business. Sources say CM Punk received two pieces of information in rapid succession tonight at Madison Square Garden that changed everything about his evening. The first was that his championship was missing from inside the building. Stolen, gone, nowhere to be found. The second, arriving within minutes of the first, was Roman Reigns in a closed-door meeting with WWE management demanding a guaranteed WrestleMania 42 victory before tonight's show goes live on Netflix, Madison Square Garden, New York City. Sources say the combination of those two pieces of information arriving simultaneously produced a reaction from CM Punk that witnesses inside MSG are still processing as the broadcast will go live in several hours. Now, according to sources with direct knowledge of the situation, CM Punk immediately connected the two events in his mind. The missing championship, Roman Reigns demanding a guaranteed victory. Sources say Punk told multiple people around him directly and without any hesitation that he believes these two things are not a coincidence. That someone in Roman Reigns' orbit took the championship that is his. That this is a coordinated psychological operation designed to destabilize him in the weeks before WrestleMania 42. And that is not going to work. That is not going to stand with the best in the world, CM Punk. Now, sources say CM Punk left his dressing room immediately, not to call management, no representation sent ahead, no waiting for an official update on either situation. Punk moved directly toward the area of the building where Roman Reigns and WWE officials were gathered, moving with a purpose and an intensity that sources say made everyone in his immediate path step aside without being asked. Members of Roman Reigns' personal security intercepted CM Punk in the corridor before he reached the meeting. And the confrontation that followed in the hallway is being described by multiple witnesses inside MSG as the most volatile and the most intense moment anyone in that building has experienced in years. Sources say CM Punk communicated three things with absolute clarity in that corridor with being physical while being physically prevented from reaching Roman Reigns. Again, clarity in that corridor while being physically prevented from reaching Roman Reigns. See, because Roman Reigns is protected. Roman Reigns has this, shield, no pun intended. First, he believes without question that Roman Reigns or someone directly connected to Roman is responsible for the disappearance of his world championship. Second, if Roman Reigns receives a guaranteed WrestleMania 42 victory from WWE management, CM Punk will not be appearing at WrestleMania 42 under any circumstances whatsoever. CM Punk will not be appearing at WrestleMania 42 under any circumstances. And third, whoever is in possession of his championship will return it before the show goes live, because what happens if it is not returned will make everything currently happening in that corridor look minor by comparison. It will look like a cakewalk, viewers, fans, and subscribers. Triple H is now managing simultaneously a missing championship, an enraged champion, a challenger making demands, and 17,000 fans sitting in their seats outside those walls, completely unaware of any of this. Remember, if you want more news, rumors, gossip, and speculation, you want the most insightful, you want the most detailed, you want the most entertaining, you want the heart, the passion, the hustle, click the bell, subscribe, and turn on all notifications, and become a channel member today. And if that combination was not already the most challenging situation of his tenure as WWE's Chief Content Officer, Brock Lesnar is also inside Madison Square Garden tonight. And sources say when Lesnar walked into Triple H's office and said represents a third emergency that sources describe as the one that finally pushed this already extraordinary evening into complete uncharted territory. Now stay with us, viewers, stay with us. This Brock Lesnar report is the development that sources say left the most experienced and the most unshakable people inside that building completely and utterly speechless. Now, our third report of this involves the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. And sources say that when Lesnar and what Lesnar delivered to Triple H in a private office at MSG tonight is a demand so unexpected and so potentially game-changing for WrestleMania 42 that it may ultimately define not just tonight's broadcast, but the entire direction of WWE heading into Las Vegas. We now turn to our third developing report inside Madison Square Garden backstage, according to those in the know, the dirt sheets, the websites, and the newsletters. A missing championship, an enraged CM Punk, Roman Reigns in a closed-door meeting making demands, and now Brock Lesnar. Sources say what happened when Lesnar walked into Triple H's office tonight is the development that transformed an already extraordinary evening into something that sources say nobody inside WWE has a clear playbook for. We expose and report those details right here and right now. Brock Lesnar arrived at Madison Square Garden tonight as scheduled, contracted, expected, returned. His presence was part of WWE's carefully constructed plan to continue the build towards his WrestleMania 42 match with Obafemi. 2 consecutive weeks of public humiliation at the hands of Obafemi. Brock Lesnar was put down. The escaped F5 in Boston, the clothesline over the top rope. WWE had a specific plan for tonight at MSG. How Lesnar would respond, how he would react, what message he would send, what moment he would create for the 17,000 people in those seats and the millions watching at home on Netflix. Well, Brock Lesnar had a different plan entirely backstage. Again, this is leaking. This is peaking right now. Extraordinary circumstances. Sources with direct knowledge of the situation confirm that Brock Lesnar walked directly into Triple H's private office at Madison Square Garden before tonight's broadcast began. No advance notice, no representation sent ahead, no warning of any kind to anyone in WWE management. Lesnar walked in, closed the door behind him, and sources say delivered a demand that left Triple H without an immediate response for what witnesses standing outside the office described as an uncomfortable, long period of absence. Sources say Brock Lesnar told Triple H directly, face-to-face, without preamble and without diplomacy, that he wants his WrestleMania 42 match with Obafemi changed, not adjusted, not tweaked, changed completely and fundamentally. Lesnar is demanding that the match be converted to a Hell in a Cell match. No rules, no disqualification, no time limits, no mechanism of any kind for any official in that building or anywhere in WWE to intervene in what Brock Lesnar is planning to do to Obafemi in Las Vegas in under 3 weeks' time at WrestleMania. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember, the Hell in a Cell match was originally going to be for Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, but that match has now been decided it won't be a Hell in a Cell. So will the Hell in a Cell match be used for Brock Lesnar and Obafemi? Your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions as this is weighing heavy on the WWE Universe. Now, consider the full weight of the position Triple H occupies at this precise moment. A missing WWE World Heavyweight Championship that nobody can locate in Madison Square Garden, MSG. CM Punk in a state of fury somewhere else in the building. Roman Reigns in a closed-door meeting refusing to perform. And now Brock Lesnar sitting directly across from him in his office delivering an ultimatum that gives him no comfortable option in any direction. Sources say officials believe Lesnar timed his demand deliberately, that he chose tonight at MSG specifically because he understood that Triple H's ability to push back would be in its absolute lowest point, that a man managing 3 simultaneous fires is a man least equipped to hold the ground against a 4th demand from the most physically imposing presence in the history of the business. Whether this reading is accurate or not, the reality that Triple H faces right now in those corridors is undeniable. And the silence in his office after Lesnar finished speaking is something sources say people who witnessed it will not forget for a very long time. Now, stay with us, viewers. Stay with us, because our next report involves a name that professional wrestling has not heard in a championship context since December the 13th. And sources say John Cena's confirmed return to WWE tonight adds a dimension to this already extraordinary story nobody inside MSG saw coming. Our 4th report from Madison Square Garden tonight involves a confirmed development that sources say has added an entirely new and completely unexpected dimension to everything already happening in that building. John Cena confirmed he is coming back to WWE. He is returning, and the timing of the announcement could not be more significant. That report is next. We interrupt our ongoing emergency coverage from MSG to bring you a confirmed development that sources say is directly connected to the largest story unfolding right now. John Cena has officially confirmed his return to WWE as the host of WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas on April 18th and April 19th. We report the full details and the full implications of that announcement right now. John Cena, 17-time WWE World Champion, one of the most recognizable faces, the greatest of all time. 23 years of professional wrestling, one of the most globally recognized faces in the history of sports entertainment. But John Cena has confirmed, I want to let this out now, John Cena has confirmed he is coming back, not as a wrestler, not as an athlete, not as a competitor. Again, not to wrestle, but as the official host of WrestleMania 42 in Las Vegas. John Cena will be standing in the center of that ring at Allegiant Stadium in front of what is expected to be the largest WrestleMania crowd in history. And he will be doing it 3 weeks from tonight. Now, again, the real reason, a lot of rumors and speculation and gossip about the real reason why John Cena was called in to do this, because WWE still has not sold out WrestleMania. Now, with John Cena being announced as the host of WrestleMania 42, the expectation is now it will sell out on night 1 and night 2. Now, on the surface, this announcement is exactly what WWE and wrestling fans around the world want. A beloved legend returning to the grandest stage in professional wrestling. A celebration of one of the greatest careers this business has ever seen. A full circle moment for a man who gave everything he had to this industry for over 2 decades. But here is what makes this announcement. He had an entirely different weight tonight, given everything we have already reported inside Madison Square Garden. John Cena and CM Punk have one of the most storied and most intense rivalries in professional wrestling history. Their program in 2011 produced what many consider the greatest promo in the modern era of WWE. 2 men who understood each other completely, who pushed each other to places neither had done before. And sources say the knowledge that John Cena will be standing in the ring at WrestleMania 42 as host, while CM Punk defends a championship that is currently missing from inside MSG tonight, is not something Punk received neutrally when the announcement was confirmed. John Cena and Roman Reigns have their own complicated and layered history. The generational transition, the passing of the torch, the moment when WWE moved from the Cena era to the era of Roman Reigns. And sources say Roman is acutely aware that having John Cena present at WrestleMania 42 as the host means having a wild card in that building whose loyalties and whose potential involvement in the main event championship picture cannot be fully predicted or controlled by anyone, including the game Triple H. And here is a question that sources is now being asked quietly but persistently by multiple people inside Madison Square Garden tonight for Monday Night Raw. Is John Cena's announcement as WrestleMania 42 host simply a celebratory, ceremonial moment for one of the greatest legends of this business has ever produced? Or is it the first visible piece of a much larger puzzle that nobody outside of a very small circle has fully seen yet? Because here is what 12 years of covering this business has taught me about John Cena. He has never done anything in WWE without a reason. Every appearance has been calculated. Every moment has been purposeful. Every return has carried meaningful beyond the surface narrative. And sources say there are people inside MSG tonight who believe firmly that John Cena's role at WrestleMania 42 does not begin and end with hosting duties. A missing WWE World title, Roman Reigns refusing to perform, CM Punk threatening to walk, Brock Lesnar delivering an ultimatum, and now John Cena confirmed as the host of WrestleMania 42. 5 major developments in one building on one night with 3 weeks to go before the biggest show of the year. This obviously is major. But ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you we are not done. Because while all of this is happening inside Madison Square Garden, something was happening outside of it that sources say has sent shockwaves through not just WWE, but the entire professional wrestling landscape tonight. And it involves a name that WWE has a very complicated history with. Stay with us. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our 5th and most unexpected report of the evening takes us outside of Madison Square Garden entirely, outside the walls of the WWE. Former WWE head writer, one of the most resilient, one of the most charismatic, one of the most creative minds for being a creative writer on the WWE writing crew. Former WWE writer Vince Russo has publicly told AEW's Tony Khan that together they can blow WWE into oblivion. The timing of that statement tonight of all nights is something that sources say is not lost on anyone inside or outside of that building. That report is next. We now turn into the ongoing emergency situation at Madison Square Garden to a development happening in the wider professional wrestling world tonight, and sources say as the final and perhaps most explosive layer to everything we have already reported. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo has made a public statement to AEW president Tony Khan that is being discussed in every corner of the wrestling world right now. We report those details right now. For those who need the background, Vince Russo was one of the most controversial and most influential creative minds in the history of professional wrestling. Right, wrong, or indifferent, he served as head writer of WWE during one of the most commercially successful periods in company history, the Attitude Era, which produced Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, D-Generation X, Mankind. The entire creative landscape that made WWE the most dominant cultural force it became in the late 1990s was shaped in significant part by Vince Russo's pen. Vince Russo has publicly told AEW president Tony Khan that together they can blow WWE into oblivion. 6 words that carry the weight of decades of professional wrestling history. Blow WWE into oblivion. Not compete with WWE, not challenge it, not challenge the WWE. not close the gap with WWE, blow them into oblivion, complete and total destruction of the most powerful professional wrestling company in the world. Now let us examine what Russo is actually saying and why he is saying it tonight of all nights, because the timing of this statement is not random. The statement was not made on a quiet Tuesday in February when nothing was happening in professional wrestling. This statement was made tonight, the night of WWE's most significant Raw broadcast of the year, from the most famous arena in the world, with WrestleMania 42 3 weeks away, with a missing championship, with Roman Reigns refusing to perform, with CM Punk and Fury, with Brock Lesnar issuing ultimatums, and with John Cena returning as the host of WrestleMania. Vince Russo chose this specific moment to make this specific statement, and that choice is deliberate. Sources say the reaction inside WWE to Russo's statement tonight has been layered. It is dismissed so far. Right off the top, guys, okay, because the storylines and the angles are getting a little misconstrued here, and I want to get everything right for the viewers, the fans, and the subscribers. Dismissiveness, because Russo's track record outside of WWE's peak years is complicated and difficult to ignore. WCW's final chapter happened on his watch. TNA never became what he promised, and many inside WWE believe his ability to deliver on statements like this has been thoroughly tested and thoroughly found wanting. But the dismissiveness is not universal, because there is also something that sources describe as quiet and uncomfortable awareness of what Russo actually knows and what he is actually capable of. He was inside WWE during its most creative and most commercially successful period. He understands the mechanics of storytelling that drives professional wrestling to its highest levels, and he is now directing that knowledge not toward WWE but toward its most significant competitor. And here is the larger picture that Russo's statement paints when viewed alongside everything else happening tonight. WWE is dealing with a massive missing championship, an enraged champion, a refusing challenger, an ultimatum being issued, and a beloved icon returning under circumstances that nobody fully explained or expected. 5 simultaneous stories of chaos and instability emanating from the most famous arena in the world on the most important Raw of the year. In the middle of all that, Vince Russo is standing outside those walls pointing at the chaos and telling Tony Khan that this is exactly the kind of moment that AEW has been waiting for, that a WWE invisible crisis is a WWE that can be taken down, and that together they have everything they need to do it. Whether Russo is right, whether Tony Khan takes him seriously, whether this statement amounts to anything beyond a headline on a chaotic night, those answers will come in the weeks and months ahead. We now have reported 5 separate developments in styles tonight. In 12 years of covering professional wrestling here on YouTube.com, ladies and gentlemen, I have never reported a night quite like this one. 5 simultaneous developments, each of which would be the biggest story on any normal evening in professional wrestling, all happening on the same night, in the same building, 3 weeks before the biggest show of the year, with the most significant Netflix audience in WWE history watching at home and those fans in the arena tonight. With what Roman Reigns is doing tonight at Madison Square Garden is not simply making a demand about a wrestling match. He is exercising the kind of leverage that only a handful of performers in the history of this business has ever possessed. He is telling the most powerful decisions maker in WWE that his name, that his face, that his drawing power are worth more than any plan WWE has written, and he is doing it at the moment when his leverage is at its most maximum. What CM Punk is doing tonight is not simply reacting to a missing title or to Roman's demands. He is drawing a line, making his own position of power unmistakably clear. The man who has given everything the Raw every single week on Netflix is telling WWE that his value cannot be taken for granted and that his championship cannot be taken, period. What Brock Lesnar is doing in Triple H's office tonight is not negotiating a match stipulation. He is making a statement about who he is and what will accept. 2 weeks of public humiliation have not diminished him. They have clarified him. And what he wants at WrestleMania 42 is not a match. It is a war with no limits and no escape inside Hell in a Cell. And with John Cena's return at WrestleMania 42, host means is still unfolding. But history tells us that when John Cena shows up at WrestleMania, something significant is about to happen. And what Vince Russo is saying to Tony Khan tonight tells us something profound about how the outside world views what is happening inside the WWE right now. Triple H built something extraordinary since taking over creative control of WWE a few years ago. He built stability where there was chaos. He built quietly where there was inconsistency. He built a product worthy of a Netflix deal worth billions of dollars and a WrestleMania worthy of 80,000 people in Las Vegas. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Monday Night Raw, on Netflix, Madison Square Garden. The most significant test of that era is happening in real time. And the outcome of tonight's emergency will tell us more about the future of WWE than any match or any championship on any WrestleMania moment ever could produce. Because championships get dropped and championships get won. Matches happen and matches end. But the power dynamics inside an organization, the relationship between the people who run it, the trust between the talent and the management, those things, when they do crack, do not heal quickly. And tonight at MSG, multiple cracks are visible simultaneously. WrestleMania 42, ladies and gentlemen, is 3 weeks away, and the road to Las Vegas has never been more unpredictable or more dangerous or more compelling than it is right now. This is our complete report for this evening. As developments emerge inside Madison Square Garden and across the wrestling world, we will bring them to you immediately with an upload. Make sure to check out SeanzViewEnt around the clock. I will never stop for you. New videos dropping throughout the day, every day. John Cena's WrestleMania 42 return plans confirmed, as I said, as I talked about. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we do. I am Seanz. We provide the potion, the locomotion, because we are always in motion, because I am the unapologetic, brash, and brazen. Plenty more to come. Subscribe for this deep dive.